Hello, everyone. So, yesterday I watched a women's college basketball game. It was Notre Dame versus UConn. This is the women's college basketball game. It was yesterday, December the 5th, 2021. The game came on at 12 p.m. And of course, we know Paige Becker's played with UConn. Then we have some other good players on Notre Dame. Her name is, last name Citron. Can't remember her first name. Oh, okay, I have her first name. Her first name is Sonia. Sonia Citron. I think I'm saying her last name right, but I know it's something with Citron. Is her last name. So first, I want to talk about UConn, and the discussion is going to be about Paige Beckers a little bit. Paige Beckers. When I was watching the game, I noticed that there were times where she could have been shooting the ball and scoring, even though she scored a lot of points yesterday and she did play a good game yesterday. She played hella good yesterday. I give her that. And she's a good shooter. I know there were many times, I would say like in the beginning of the game, where she'll just pass the ball and won't shoot. And I know when the commentators are speaking as the players are playing ball, they'll say, oh, Paige Becker's can be an unselfish player, or she's just passing the ball around right now. She's not being selfish. I feel that, Paige, you can shoot, be selfish, and I'm not saying that to just be mean and not pass the ball to your teammates. Yeah, pass the ball to your teammates, but if you're capable of shooting the ball, shoot it. You're a good player. Don't hold back. So one of my notes from so some of my I wrote a few notes from yesterday, and I did write down that Beckers need to learn how to shoot the ball, and if you have to be selfish, but not to just be mean, but just shoot it. Don't be afraid to shoot it. Just be brave and shoot it. I know in the beginning of the game, Beckers was getting the ball taken away from her from Notre Dame because Notre Dame, they're very quick on the court. I was watching them very well in the court when they were playing. They have a very fast team, but there's some pros and cons about them. They seem like a very good team that need some improvements on some things. I see some potential in that team. They need it's a lot of work. They have a lot of work to do. And I think Notre Dame is maybe number 24 in the nation. UConn, I believe, is number two. So I don't know if I can say I was surprised that UConn beat them. I was actually rooting for Notre Dame. Nothing against UConn, but I'm always hoping other teams beat UConn because they think that nobody can't beat UConn. But to me, UConn didn't have no competition with Notre Dame. So the competition would be mostly with, I would say, Stanford, South Carolina. South Carolina beat UConn. That's their competition. And maybe other teams. So I want to talk about Paige Beckers. In the beginning of the game, she was, from what I remember, when the game first started, in the beginning of the first quarter, they were passing the ball. And I noticed that when they were passing it, they were stealing the ball from her. Like she threw it and then the other team took the ball. Like they kept stealing the ball from her. And it just appeared that she wasn't holding the ball. Like she get the ball. It's like she couldn't hold it. The team was taking it from her. And I'm like, what is she doing? She can't hold the ball. She can shoot. She's a good shooter, but this was just in the first quarter. She picked it up as time went by. I would say like second, third, fourth. She picked it up, but when the game first started, Paige Beckers was actually slipping, where they was taking the ball from her. And I know there was a point where she tried to pass it to her teammate, and the other team took the ball from her. It could have been maybe, I would say, twice. And when that kept going, I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on with her? But she stepped it up towards the end. What else did I write? UConn, they have tremendous ball movement on the court. When UConn, they offense was bad at times. I know they've been double teaming on Notre Dame. All I have to say is my advice to other teams. When you play UConn, this is just my advice. You want to beat UConn, you need to double team on Paige Beckers. Double team, triple team. I'll give you two names who you need to double team on. You need to double team on Olivia Nelson Adota, because I know she's one of their top players, and she played a good game yesterday. She needs to be double teamed because she's a tall player. She plays center. Paige Beckers need to be double teamed. I would say them two are the main ones that were, I would say, was scoring throughout the game. They're the reason why their team won. They're one of the reasons why their team won. I know they had other players that contributed to the game on UConn. You know, bravo to them. I know they scored some points. But Olivia Nelson, Adota, and Beckers, they the ones you have to double team on. And I know there was another girl. I tried to get her name yesterday. She's on UConn. She played good. I didn't get her name. There were two girls on there. They both had long ponytails, but I couldn't get their names. And I think she made like three-point shots. She played good. I don't know if she was a freshman. She could have been a freshman. Because I know Azzy Fudd didn't play. She's supposed to be injured. So I was looking forward to seeing Azzy Fudd play yesterday. So since she didn't play, I think they let the girl come in. I don't know her name specifically, but she had like a long ponytail. And it looks like she was in because Azzy Fudd was, on the bench not playing because of being injured. But the girl that was playing, she played real good. So I'm like, well, where's she been the whole time? It takes for Azzy Fudd to be injured to let, some of these bench players come in, then they shine it on the court. Not trying to talk bad about Azzy Fudd. I hope she does feel better. I hope she does get injured. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I mean to say I hope she does feel better. I hope her injuries get better. I want to see her back on the court and play because I was looking forward to seeing her play yesterday, but they said she was injured, so she may be sitting down a while. So I'm looking forward to seeing her play in the future. I hope she gets better. This is Azzy Fudd. But the other players that were in, they played good. And who else I want to talk about? All right, again, Olivia Nelson Adota, she plays center. She gets fouled, missed both free throws. Like I said, free throws are important. I liked how she scored in the paint twice and gets fouled. You see, Olivia Nelson Adota is a tall girl. I know if I'm recruiting, if I'm coaching a college team and I need a center, I need a big, humongous giant center. Somebody that could go against Olivia Nelson Adota. Because I see other centers from other teams. They're tall. They're just as tall as her. But I want to recruit somebody that's taller, like a giant. Because I don't see where she has any competition right now. Maybe there is a giant, humongous center out there. But if it's me, I need like 2 or 3 big centers that can go against somebody like Olivia Nelson Adota. Because it looks like she took over that center part on the court yesterday. And I'm going to talk about Notre Dame pretty soon. I'm just talking about UConn first. UConn, one of my favorites of the game was the press break. It was from Beckers to, I can't remember the person's name, but anyway, it was a press break when they got the ball. And it was maybe the end of, I wrote it down. It was the end of the second quarter. Paige Beckers got the ball. She threw it down the court, and one of her teammates scored. I forgot the person's name. I think she's one of the starting five. I did. That was one of my favorite parts of the game, the press break. Um, Becker started shooting more. I know in the beginning she wasn't really, I understand you have to pass the ball. In the beginning, she was trying to shoot, but at the same time, she was trying to just pass the ball to her teammates. But she did start shooting more. I would say starting second quarter, she was shooting more. I was giving her that. Then she was scoring the points, which is good. So I'm like, okay, that's how you play. Shoot, score. Because when um, she scores. Her ball mostly goes in the basket a lot. So she has a good aim for the basket. So I'm talking about Paige Beckers. Beckers has a good aim for the basket. So the leading scorers from the first half, they said it was Citron, who is from Notre Dame. It was 10 points. That was after the first half. Beckers had 10 after the first half. Olivia Nelson Adota had 10 after the first half. And I also want to talk about how towards the end of the game, because Paige Beckers was still in the game when the game was just about over. The final score was 54-73. UConn had 73. Notre Dame had 54. And I hope Paige Becker's leg feel better, because I know towards the end of the game, she was bouncing the ball. All of a sudden, she slipped and her left leg, twisted. And they did a replay of it. Now, a player didn't touch her. As they did the replays, I know the player that was guarding her didn't touch her. I saw that Paige Beckers was bouncing the ball, just bringing the ball down the court. Then as she was bringing it down, it's like she slipped and her left leg twisted. I felt so bad for her, and she was just so much in pain. So I hope she feels better. I hope it doesn't get to the point that she doesn't play, because I do want to see Paige Beckers play. She's a good player. So, I did feel bad for her, because I did see her crying. So she must have been in a lot of pain for her to be crying. So let's hope she feel better. So now I want to talk about Notre Dame. Notre Dame, good offense at the beginning of the game. Like I said, they're very quick on the court. They had a lot of turnovers. And then they kept fouling Olivia Nelson Adota. She's center. So what UConn was doing, they was making sure she had that ball to shoot in the paint. So the trick is, okay, we're going to throw the ball to her. She's going to shoot it, then she's going to get fouled. With Notre Dame, my thing is with this team, it was a lot of them rushing shots. It looked like they was just shooting the ball just to shoot it. They wasn't taking their time. They were just shooting it. And they were missing a lot of shots. That's not good. Some of them were good at rebounding. Citron, one of their top players, she's very aggressive on the court. She's one of their good players. So I'm trying to be aware of all the players and their names. So Citron is one of their top players. She's very aggressive on the court. She played a good game. And there was another person that I wrote down. I think her last name is Mabry. I know I wrote that she needs to shoot more. I don't know what was going on with her yesterday, but I think she had a lot of open shots where she was able to shoot. So I think in future games, she should shoot more. Shoot more threes. Okay, let me see why I wrote that she needs to shoot more threes. Okay, now I remember. I think she scored maybe two 3-point shots, and she's good at shooting threes. So I just felt like when she had the ball, she should have shot more threes, because when when she had it before a couple of times, she was shooting it and making the threes. So I would say in future games, shoot more 3-point shots, because she's a good 3-point shooter. So again, the final score was 54-73. Notre Dame had 54. UConn had 73. Right? And oh, also, I when I was watching the game, I saw that there were some UConn alumni there that played basketball. They had Sue Bird there. Of course, Rebecca Lobo was there. And there was, what is the other player name? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember her name. But anyway, there were a few of past UConn players there. So it was good to see them come to the game. And that's all I want to say. And continue watching women's college basketball. I do miss watching the WNBA games, but we have to wait till next summer. So the NBA games, the women's college basketball games, the men's college basketball games, those are keeping me busy right now. So just keep a lookout for the games and have a good night.